So it's me, your boy K Samson. So I have this word to give us about narcissists. Narcissist people are those who like to do whatsoever they feel like doing around you, who like to operate, who like to take everyone for granted. That is narcissist. You know what I'm saying? So this is the reason why narcissist people hate boundaries. So there are major reasons why narcissist people hate what boundaries. When you set boundaries, this is the limitation, this is where they ought to cross, and this is what they ought to do, and this is what they ought not to do. So narcissist people will never love you if you are a type of person who know how to set boundaries for them, who don't accept anything from them, who don't accept who don't want them to do anyhow around you. So one of the reason why narcissists hate boundaries is because they won't have the privilege to do and undo. You can say so. Once a narcissist person understand that this is a boundary and is not allowed to cross it, a narcissist person will never be content. He will never be happy. He will always be obsessed, because narcissist people are those who will come into your life. They will love to do anything. They will love to come in and go out. They will love to close and open. They will love to spoil, destroy, betray, do anything. But once you set a boundary against them, they will never be happy. You know what I'm saying? And two, a narcissist person will never be happy if you give them a rule in your life. If you tell them this is where you ought to do, this is your limit. You know what I'm saying? A narcissist person will never be happy if you set rules and regulation in your life, and they discover that these are the type of things that you tolerate, and these are the type of things you don't tolerate. Because narcissist people always love if you don't tolerate, if you tolerate everything. They talk bad of you, you will just be laughing. They do this one, you will just be laughing. They do that one, you will accept everything that they do. And mostly when you set boundary, that they don't have that power to control you. You know what I'm saying? Because narcissist people love to control. You get it? So if you set a boundary for a narcissist person by making that rule that they are not allowed to control you, you have already killed them. Because that means you don't want them to overpower you, one, and two, you don't want them to do what they ought to do. You don't want them to control you. There are some kind of people you will meet in your lifetime. All that they know how to do is that they will take charge of you, they will control you, and tell you what to do and what not to do. They will be the one that will start to tell you, you ought to do this, you ought to do that, and you ought not to do this. They will even be telling you when and how, where to go. You know what I'm saying? So that is narcissist. A narcissist person will never be happy if you did not allow them to control you by setting boundaries. You know what I'm saying? So narcissist person will never be content. And another of it is that if you set a boundary that leads to a point where they will not be able to do what, to maybe you set a boundaries where they will not be able to manipulate you, they will not be able to use you, or you set a boundary by saying who, if they betrayed you, or if they talk bad of you, if you hear that you say something with them or you talk anything with them, you hear it outside, that is the end of of their relationship or their connection with you, narcissist person will never be happy. Because narcissist people, they love whenever they are talking bad of you and you don't respond. They love whenever they are talking bad of you, you hear it and you won't ask them. You know what I'm saying? Narcissist people will always be happy if you give them that power to do anything they wish like doing. If you give them that power to talk to you anyhow they feel like talking. If you give them that power to spread bad rumors about you, narcissist people will always love that. You know what I'm saying? So if a narcissist person is around you and you refuse to allow them to do all these things, and you set a boundary that limit their power in your life, a narcissist person will surely leave you. They will surely leave you. You know what I'm saying? If you maybe by any means have some rules in your life, and they identify that you don't tolerate this, you don't tolerate that, and whoever that go beyond this, you can do what you can block them, delete them, and not associating with them. Narcissist people will never love you as long as you set all these boundaries to limit them. You know what I'm saying? So in narcissist people will always love when you don't have boundaries, when you don't have rule, when you don't have what you hate, when you don't have what you don't hate. So they will always love you if you don't hate nothing. Anything that they do, they are right. They will surely love you, because that will give them the power to do and undo in your life. That will give them the strength to hurt you, to say anything that they feel like. But if you set a boundary that limits them not to do what they feel like doing, not to take charge in your life, not to control you, not to rule you, not to manipulate you, you will never be a friend to a narcissist person. Because as long as you set this boundary, you have already break or destroyed their ego. You know what I'm saying? So remember, blessed brothers. So if you are up there, you have toxic people in your life, try to create these signs. Try to let them know this is the limit. You know what I'm saying? Try to create rules and regulation that will make them know whom you truly are. Because if you don't have rules and regulation, and they come, they do that, they will waste your time, they will do all sorts of things they feel like doing. Narcissist people will never they will never stop in doing that. They will never feel bad in hurting you. Mostly when you give them that privilege to take charge of you, they will take charge, destroy it, and do it, and still leave you. So once you set boundaries for them, they will surely know that you are prepared for everything, and they won't love it, they will hate it. So remember, blessed. May God bless you.